So, this text by a great master Shankaracharya, Tattva gives us the basics of how to find and discover real self. Second thing I have repeated many a times that the entire Eastern wisdom is nothing but an instrument of knowledge. Eyes is an instrument of knowledge to see the form and the colors. Ears, sound. Same way, the Eastern wisdom is simply an instrument of knowledge to discover the real self. So last time we understood happiness, two equations. Happiness, I am, happiness. And the second equation is the happiness is equal to I am plus object. That is what the thought is. So thought, I will be happy when I get this object or a person or a thing, situation or event in life. Happiness is in future. That is never possible. Because I'm a conscious being, so I experience a happiness here and now. And that happiness is the real self. When the happiness is here and now, then why I don't get it? Because I don't apply the instrument of knowledge. And it is because of the ignorance. And ignorance are of many types that we will discuss later. But I'm reminding what my master used to say, that he used to say when anybody asked the question, he used to say, I answer you. Later on, he explained to me in detail, I answer you, I don't answer your question. That is the unique approach of the coaching. And the answer comes that I answer you what it means. And I don't answer your question. So all your question comes from the mind. Problem the mind has an ignorance. So locus of ignorance is the mind. The solution should be put into the mind, removing ignorance, incomplete knowledge. So as I've been telling you that I got a lot of emails. So without naming, I will pick up one question. I thought I should never answer the person. And then you will realize that how deeper the level of ignorance if I'm not a seeker. And that causes the problem. So understanding is the first step. No, I have understood it. Did you understand my home address? Yes. Can you reach there? Yes. And you don't reach there. You reach somewhere else. And that problem comes from the mind. The question is, physical body has birth and the death. And in between it goes through an aging process. What about the subtle body? Does it also go through the aging? If not, then why does the energy level go down in the old age? So whatever comes from my impulsive mind, I simply ask the question. I don't see any logic. Physical body has birth and the death. Really? What the Eastern wisdom says. Does it say that the physical body undergoes birth and death? And in between it goes through the aging process. Who is aging? I am aging. Logically, question is very strong. We teachers in the Eastern wisdom remain very relaxed when we see. Logically, question is strong, but when it defies my experience, it becomes ignorance. Now, the body is undergoing an aging process. Body is made up of matter. What is matter? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Can you tell me carbon is undergoing an aging process? Hydrogen is going an aging process. Tell me. Every element remains the same element. Where is your aging process? That is what the ignorance is. So I understand it, but I do not contemplate and reflect on it. So I don't get an answer. I continue to live into the same state of ignorance. Tell me, what goes in aging process? I told you the Eastern wisdom is an instrument of knowledge. If I keep my mind full of ignorance and the question comes out of it, I have understood it, but I have not contemplated and reflected so that I do not live into the higher awareness. What we say there are only two things in the world, real and unreal. What is the definition of unreal? It is constantly changing. Forget about what is aging and what is not aging. That aging process is because of my convenience. Why it is because of convenience? Because I'm attached to the body. Why I am attached to the body? Because I have an emotional dependence. I claim that I am the body. Then only I think of the aging process. So when I know clearly what is real and unreal, I understand it, I contemplate and reflect based on this. And what is real? It is permanent, unchanging, all pervading, one consciousness. Does all pervading undergo an aging process? And I give you a logic, tell me if this body is aging. Let science say what it says. It's aging process, I have all gray beard, Can you tell me behind this gray beard and the black hairs, what is it that has undergone an aging process? Unreal is constantly changing. We label it as an aging process. What do you mean by an aging process? Think of it. Thinking means contemplation and reflecting. What about the subtle body? All the three bodies in the five sheath are undergoing change. What changes is not me, let it change. The very word aging doesn't come. And if it comes, we say mental aging as a mental maturity. Do you see that? We say the mental maturity when you drop emotional dependence. Because you have an emotional dependence, it results into delusion, and the delusion causes the suffering. Then why does the energy level go down in the old age? Because of you, because you are clinging to your body. You claim that you are the body. Let us, so what is the principle? Principle is when the intellect says, I have understood, find that you have reached to a new level of awareness. That should be the result. And the answer is, I should breathe Eastern wisdom, not simply talk of Eastern wisdom. Breathe, every breath goes in and out. I live into that awareness. So once you start living into that Eastern wisdom, you are breathing the Eastern wisdom through all your gurus, through all the texts. You are already there. Throw them into the garbage. Am I saying it? No. Every master says this. My master used to speak in a very simple language. Do you have a text of Eastern wisdom in your bookshelf? Yes. Did you study it? Yes. Did you understand it? Yes. Burn it. You are already there. Why do you need? You have reached to that state? You have been going to a guru or a master? Yes, I have been going. You have reached to that? Throw the guru out. It clearly says, not in one text, but hundred of texts. Do not hang around when you are going to leave me. But there is a message here. But I didn't leave. Why I didn't leave? Because that false ego should not take over me. That everything is coming from it. I should remain in that state. That is another perspective in the journey of the Eastern wisdom. So I've been saying, I don't know, let me know it. I have an understanding. I do not understand it clearly. I have to contemplate and reflect. I have to think of it. What my mind is saying. Is the mind living in still in ignorance? I have to get rid of. I have to contemplate and reflect until the intellect is 100% clear. There is a conviction. Do the practice. One session is necessary. It did not happen to me, but now I see that only one session is necessary. So, based on this repeated information, we are understanding what is real self. Thula Sukshma Karan Shariradi Vyaktirektah Panchakoshatitah San Avasthatraya Sakshi Satchidananda Swarupah San Yastisthati. So Atma, what is real self? So it starts the journey. We have started the journey. The real self is other than the three bodies: physical body, subtle body, causal body. We should be 100% clear. I am different from this house, room, kitchen, bathroom, etc., etc. So that home is these three bodies. The real self is different from the five sheets we have already understood. And now we are understanding that real self is the witness. of three states. What are the three mental states? The dream state, waking state, and the sleep state. So I listen to it. I understand. Say yes, you are understanding everything, whatever I have spoken until now. Say yes. Yes, I have understood. But after that, I must sit down and contemplate and reflect. Understanding, if I break down, understanding level one, you got the information from the teacher and your understanding is clear. And now you sit down, check mind, do you accept this? Mind will say no. So it has a doubt. The intellect should contemplate and think over it. How to think over it? That how this principle can be true in my life. That is what the contemplation and reflection is. That is why on Saturday's session, we don't actually do the practice. It lays a tremendous stress on understanding that knowledge must reveal the nature. So, coming back, we are none of the three states. I think I discussed about three in one. No? I didn't discuss? I know you are listening to me patiently. So, three states: dream state, waking state, and sleep state. So, if they are, if I am the waker, if I am the dreamer, if I am the sleeper, so it means I am three in one. And if I am different, separate from them, then I witness them, I observe them. How do I observe? Oh, there are a lot of people attending, listening to me. They are different from me. Same way, I also see that this waking state is different from me. Sleep state is different from me. And but the dream state is different from me. They are mental states. First thing, the master says. So if I keep on witnessing that these three states are not me, then what is left is the real self. After the five sheaths, three bodies, three states. And the one principle is that applies everywhere. Is the waking, dream, and the sleep state changes? Yes, it changes. So what changes is not me. I'm a permanent entity. I'm a permanent uh, consciousness, which never undergoes any change. So now see how the master takes us to a deeper, how we are the knower of three states. Did you understand the question? How we know the three states? Because I don't see there is anything different and separate from these three mental states. How do I know that? Isn't it a relevant question? Say yes. Even if you don't understand, say yes, so it's better. I don't say you that you are crazy, except yes. See, so simple. You see, you are wonderful. Everyone is wonderful. So there, with a simple observation, I see my picture of my master with me. So there are three elements here. One is the knowledge of the picture of my master. One is I, and one is the knowledge in between. Three factors are there. So what I know through the mind is always different from me, can never be me. What I know. I know Stephen. Is Stephen me? No. I know Christina. Is Christina me? No. But what prevents me not to see the knower is different from the known? My instinctive mind, my impulsive mind, my emotional dependence. So when the man finds a beautiful woman or women finds a man, they say soulmate. Do you have a soulmate? Say yes, you have. I have a soulmate. I see. Ashok raised his. And yes, I have a soulmate. Are you scared of your soulmate? Your soulmate sitting near you. Now see the ignorance in the soulmate. That I totally identify myself with the man and the woman. No, I'm not breaking your relationship. I'm just speaking the truth. Keep your soulmate, what it has to do with me, I'm okay. I have found my soulmate once and forever. So where, because of ignorance, the knower and the known are claimed as one. So the moment you claim it is one, you are bound to suffer. Sooner or later, the soulmate has to become a sourmate. Tell me if it is not true. So, no, but again, come back to the principle. What is the principle? Knower and the known are always different and separate from who am I? So I have understood this principle. Now, observe, understand deeply. Let us move together to the contemplation. So the master says, what is a waking state? In which all the five sheath, three bodies are active. That is known as a waking state. But because I am neither the three bodies nor the five sheath, so I cannot be the waker. See, let me put it in a simple way. I am neither the three bodies which are constantly changing. I am none of the five sheath that are constantly changing. They interact with one another. They give rise to different symptoms. And hence these symptoms, I told you about that verse. Mano buddhir ahankara chittani naham. I'm none of these five energy functions. I'm not even the raga and dvesha, attachment and detachment. I'm none of these pain and the pleasure. So that we experience in the waking state. And the waking state is not possible if the five sheath, three bodies are active, not active. So what happens in the dream state? In which the physical body is not actually active as it is active in the waking state. My sense organs do not see it. I see everything in my mind. And that is what the dream state is. What is the difference between the waking and the dream state? My physical instruments are not active. My physical eye do not see any image, but my mind perceives the image. Mind, you can add mind the third sheath, fourth sheath, and the subtle body. They are active in the dream state. But remember one point, I am none of the three bodies, I am none of the five sheaths, and it is an act. It is an act of these bodies in the sheath in the dream state. I see a red rose flower in the dream. So that red flower is a mental imagination, either coming from the past impressions in this birth or the previous birth. We'll talk about the one step by step, how to prove and understand it, what is previous birth. So now see that what happens in a sleep state. A deep sleep state, we see the absence. How can you see the absence? There is nothing in your living room, so you see the absence of all the articles in the living room. Not a big deal. So we are experiencing an absence of things, thoughts, feelings in the deep sleep. Deep sleep is purely an absence of everything that we know in the waking state, that we know in the dream state. But here comes an answer. The moment I wake up, I say I had a sound sleep. Who says this? Does the sleeper says? No. Because if the sleeper says, you are already in a waking state. Who says this? That who is the real self. That is why we say we have to witness and observe that these three states are separate and different from me. Why? I have been waking, I have been waker, sleeper, and dreamer every day for years, for weeks and months and days after. They are constantly moving and changing. But there is one center deeper inside me that witnesses these three states. Did you understand? Say yes, you understood it. When we understand, when we understand what? So that is the definition in this text by the master. How he defines the real self. We will take up now what is real self. Oh, that is what I have been waiting. You have been wasting my time. Directly tell me what is real self. I've already told you, you are real self. Did you understand it? No. Explain a little bit. So it is not the three bodies. No, why you are coming back again that it is not the three bodies? Because you are attached to it. You are obsessed with it. You live in ignorance. That is why the master is opening up step by step. Sometimes we are more intelligent than these masters. Don't talk to me. You talk to me directly. Why you are not talking to me directly? So who is saying this? False eye. Am I? False eye is saying. As if you are going to buy a phone and the smartwatch from the store. Give me the watch. It's not possible. See that? Not possible. So what is real self? The master says, We are none of the three bodies. I should be 100% clear. We are none of the five sheets. And the third is, we are the witness of the three bodies. Then what is left? What is left is the real self. What is left is the real self. And relationship, when I used to help people to have to resolve the relationship challenges, I used to ask them, are you a husband or a wife first, or a man or a woman first? No, no, you solve my problem. We know it that we are a husband and a wife. That is why you are living in ignorance. How simple it is. But unless we understand it, understanding level one, you get the information, you get the principles. The mind claims I have understood, but the mind keeps all the doubts inside. After the session and after the practice, I was totally relaxed, but it remains only for 2 or 3 hours. What should I do? Mind does not have a conviction. Do you see that? That for that conviction, understanding level two, I have to contemplate and reflect until the time comes you wake up in the morning and yes, I'm none of the three bodies. I'm none of these five sheets. I witness the waker state. Waker is not me, sleeper is not me, dreamer is not me. Then you are already with the real self, my friends. So start practicing. Now let us do the practice with your soulmate, Ashok. So she is also my student.